Hi, it's Olga. My 25 Days of Christmas tutorial series continues, and today it's the time for the project number 19. Here are the two sets of dies by Cat Scrappiness, the Postage edge circles and ovals. Of course, you can cut different layers with them or pair them with matching circles and cut out the frames, but I have accidentally discovered one more thing that these dies can do. You can actually create boxes with them, and let's start with an oval one. So we'll need two ovals. I've chosen the third largest die and two strips of paper. You see that there is a stitched line right beside the postage edge, and I'm going to use it as a folding line to bend all the little tabs outward. And this is going to be the bottom of my box. Now I'm going to apply some quick drying liquid glue onto these tabs and stick this strip of paper that I have prepared. I have to hold it down for about 15 or 20 seconds until the glue really bonds the two pieces of paper. That is why I'm applying glue in portions, only about 1.5 to 2 inches, and then I'm holding it down. And then I'm proceeding right to the point where I have started. It might seem a bit tricky at the beginning, but when you make one box, you'll realize you can actually make many more. When I have reached the end of the oval, I'm trimming off the excess, leaving a little bit extra to overlap, and sticking it down. So this is going to be the box itself, and now I'm going to make the lid for the box. I'm basically going to repeat the same process, so I'm bending the edge of the oval outwards, and then I'm going to stick a piece of patterned paper to it. And as always, you can find the list of supplies that I'm using with links to online store in the description as well as on my blog. There is a trick that you should know about this box. Because I have used the same die for the top and for the bottom, the lid does not fit on top of the box. So we have to make the box just a tiny bit smaller. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to cut a slit at the side right to the bottom. Then I'm going to overlap the two sides, creating a kind of a wedge. It should be about 1/4 of an inch at the top. This way the box becomes just a little bit smaller and you can easily put the lid on and off. Now when the box shape is ready, I'm going to decorate it. So I have heat embossed the sentiment on top of a piece of vellum, and I have also die cut and embossed the die that is called Fancy Ribbon Frame and Bow out of gold mirror cardstock. Then I'm sticking the frame on top of the vellum. You could probably see that I have only applied the glue around the inner edge of the frame, and that allows me to slip the scissors behind the ribbon and cut over it. And now I'm going to attach this frame with the sentiment on top of my box. I'm also going to make some flowers for decoration, and the die set I'm using is called Small Blooming Poinsettia. It's by Poppy Stamps, just like the frame. So now I'm shaping the flowers with the stylus. I'm flipping them over and then forming a cup, then flipping them back and press them in the middle. To assemble the flower, I simply have to attach all 3 layers one on top of another, starting with the largest one and moving towards the smallest one, and then I'm putting the stamens on top. I have created 2 more flowers. They are a bit smaller just because I used 2 layers of petals instead of 3 layers. And now I'm attaching all 3 flowers on top of the box with the hot glue. I'm also going to attach some leaves. Adding greenery around the flowers always brings them to life. I have also decided to attach a thin strip of red paper along the edge of the lid, like that. Now the first oval box is finished, and let's move on to the next one, which is going to be round. This time I'm going to start with decorating the top of the box. I'm going to use one of these circle sentiment stamp. They are by LDRS, and the set is called Holidays. Those stamps are nice and large, and they are vintage, so perfectly fitting for my project today. So I'm going to heat emboss one of the stamps on a piece of patterned paper using the gold embossing powder. When the powder is heat set, I'm going to use my die to cut out this circle. I'm also going to add some festive red and green to this image using the distress markers. The colors I have chosen are festive berries and peeled paint. When I am done with the coloring, I am piercing a hole in the middle of the poinsettia and setting up a brad. Then I'm punching out a circle out of some patterned paper and sticking it at the wrong side to cover the prongs of the brad. This step is totally optional though. Then I'm going to create the shape of the box the same way as I did before. So I'm going to stick 2 strips of paper to 2 circles. Now I'm going to cut a slit and create a little wedge, just like I did before. And here is another tip: use patterned paper for this type of boxes. With the plain cardstock, the seams can be visible, but with the busy patterns, no one will ever notice what you did to that box. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add some glossy accents on top of the poinsettia image. The second box is finished. Now you can have a closer look at the end of this video. I have also created the third box using the smallest postage circle die from the same set. I'm going to use this poinsettia to decorate it. It's very similar to the one that I used before, just a bit larger. I'm going to attach it with the hot glue to the top of the box. Now, I'll be honest, this tiny little box was the hardest, absolutely the hardest one to make. It just didn't want to listen to me. So if you want to recreate this kind of boxes, do start with larger ones, like this. And here is the closer look at all 3 boxes. Thank you for watching this tutorial till the end. Here are some more projects of the day 19 from the previous years. I hope you have fun preparing for holidays, and I hope to see you again really soon.